What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1,
and we are back at it again, answering your questions in another installment of For the Greater.
And this special question comes from Pate Peterson. Now, Pate Peterson is a subscriber, and all he did was he commented last week with a question that he had. He put question in front of his question, and we picked it out and we're answering them. That's what this series is all about. Just us answering the questions that you guys have about Warhammer 40k, or pretty much anything. If you guys want to ask us about women issues, LGTB rights. Q. Is there a Q in that?
I don't think so. LGBT.
Q. Weird. No, that's okay. Okay.
That's a question we have for you.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Pate Peterson says, as there are Nurgle Orks and Khorne Ork Demon Killer, could it be possible having Slaanesh Orks pimping space hosts, pleasure worlds, and Slaanesh cults? There's Ork chaos. There's Chaos Orks for everything. Maybe not Tzeentch.
No, because they do have Psyker Orks, but...
Oh yeah, Weird Boys.
Weird Boys.
Yeah, but they all fall under the category of odd boys. So, like, let's say you are an orc and you are part of a clan. That clan somehow encounters Slaaneshi Orks or the Red Orks, which are the Khorne Orks. They see that as somebody who is not orc-like, and the first thing they'll do is attack it. There will never be, or there has never been, a story of a specific Chaos Orc group fighting alongside a Wog. They're always on their own because they're the outcasts. They're the odd boys. They're the people that they don't really associate with themselves with. Same thing with Gene Stealer cults. When they infiltrate Orc empires, and then they start building their own little hybrids of Orc and Gene Stealers, those guys get wiped out. Orcs just attack them naturally. It's in their biology, I guess. Yeah.
It's a very scientifically answered correct question.
Yep, it's another reason why the Orcs are so awesome at just reproducing and becoming a threat in the galaxy, because biologically they are, what's that word?
Engineered?
Well, they're engineered to
combat anything different than what is basically
them.
Yeah.
So they simplify everything by killing anything that is not green enough for them.
Think of orcs as like beefy white blood cells. It's like, hey, you're different. I'm a, whoop your ass.
They kill all red cells,
mm-hmm.
and then you die. Next question.
Okay. I was gonna say no, but yeah, there has been a story of actually zombie orcs, which is Nurgle Orks. That's a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
We might talk about it later on.
We will talk about it later on.
There you go.
Spoiler alert. Next question.
This is by Salamander's Chapter. When the Primarchs return, will the first founding chapters be reformed into legions once again? I don't think so, because the first Primarch to actually return is Guilliman, and he's the guy who wrote the Codex Astartes. He's the reason why there's no more legions, there's only chapters. So even if all the other, Primarchs come back, I don't see this happening. And again, the main reason is so that there isn't another civil war, another heresy. And Guilliman's already pissed at the state of the Imperium, so...
Yeah, by that leaked image.
Yeah, leaked image, and... the book, by the time you're seeing this, the book should already be out, so... You guys can spoil us in the comments below if you want to. Please don't.
Next question comes from Sonic Commando. Hey dudes, thanks for answering my question a while back. My question today is, if you got asked to voice act a character from a whole franchise, who would it be and why? I'm a horrible voice actor person. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool if I could voice, what's that guy? Lorgar. Because it's every time I picture him in my head, I don't give him a voice. Every other Primarch, they have their British accent and whatnot. But when Logar's there, it's I can't picture it. It's weird.
I think I would want to voice act a rogue trader, just because it kind of reminds me of what's his name, Star-Lord.
Oh, Peter Quill.
Yeah, so a rogue trader would be serious when he needs to be, but most of the time he'll just be It's goofy, like Sardor. At least that's what I get. But then you go on to say, I would choose Vulcan as I could imagine him having a very interesting voice. Also, if I sent you lore on my own made-up chapter, would you make a video on it? And don't worry, it's not my hentai noise marines.
Aww.
Keep up the good work. You can send both if you want, and
Hey,
we will
why
make
not?
a video on it.
The easiest way is send it to our Facebook page via message, and then send pictures too, because it's sometimes a little hard to find pictures to a made-up chapter, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So.
Send pictures of your chapter, not of you.
Or if you want a picture of you the whole time, go ahead, but don't worry if people criticize you and hurt your feelings, because it is going to happen.
Yes. We constantly get our feelings hurt every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way life is.
That's right.
Next
This one is by Soviet Slav. Does the window protect you from warp taint?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have, you can't see it, but underneath the window, there is a, what is it called? The warp generator thing.
Geller field?
Yeah, the Geller field. And there's a Geller field that exists right above that. It's shining really, really bright today.
Yeah, it's actually so bright, like it's actually chipping off part of the window itself.
Yep.
But the window keeps regenerating, so it's like a constant thing. Kind of like the Emperor and the Golden Throne.
Mm-hmm. But it burns that specific spot every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It looks the same every time, too. Dead Frog says...
Dead Frog?
Dead Frog, yes.
No, not the frogs.
What would happen if Horus found out about himself turning chaos before he was really chaos? He would have a mind fuck.
Yeah.
The thing about all Astartes, though, is that I think they're far more intelligent than humans. So the impact of finding out that he would become a traitor, I think, would affect him even more, just because he would be more, what's the word? I don't know.
He'd have a deeper sense of feeling.
Yeah.
So, like, gaining that knowledge would affect him 1,000 times more than it would a normal person, because they can interpret more deeply.
Yes.
This one's by Chaos Marine 55. What is the biggest demonic entity that has been summoned from the warp, aside from greater demons and princes? He recalls something about Ahriman summoning a Leviathan-sized demon around the size of Imperial battleships during one of the later Black Crusades.
I don't remember that at all.
If you could send us the lore for that, please do. It
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
And I've done the lore on all Black Crusades except for the 13th. I haven't finished the 13th, and I don't remember that. So, I mean, as far as I know, the largest thing is a greater demon.
Yeah, demon princes. I think it was Doombreed that was the biggest, but don't quote me.
Jack Fitch says, could the Emperor have a plan for the evolution of the Imperium? Do you think he would feel betrayed to the current state of it? How likely is it that this is somehow a test of faith? So, could he have a plan for evolution? Yes, evolution in terms of, like, social evolution, not in terms of, like, human evolution, though. Like, genetic evolution, sorry. Because he wanted to do away with the Astartes. So, I mean, if he wanted genetic evolution, why not just make the Astartes able to reproduce, you know?
Right, because that does seem as the next logical step after humankind.
Mm-hmm. And then do you think he would feel betrayed of the current state of the Imperium? Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Gilliman does.
Mm-hmm.
Gilliman is pissed. And how likely is this a test of faith? I don't think it's a test of faith. I think he really failed.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering my question last week. It really made my day. Hope you both well.
Thank you. This one's by Freakstyle95. He asks, 40K pickup lines? Question mark.
Is that... No, hold on. Is it cold in here? Or are those Magnus Threads horns? I don't know. That wouldn't really be a good pickup line.
No.
Are you a Slaneshi worshiper? Cause that ass is of the fallen. I don't know.
Are you a defiler? Because I'm gonna defile you.
Damn. Yeah, if you guys can think of any better pickup lines, please comment down below. We would love to hear it.
There's one right here by Freakstyle. He says he calls his dick the chainsword because he's gonna tear that ass up.
Damn.
Ooh.
Chaos Marine 555 or 55. What is the biggest? Oh, you already read that. Killer Gnome.
Killer Gnome.
Horus was gifted by Chaos on Moloch, so he gets the abilities needed to overcome the Emperor. Why wouldn't the Chaos God stop Horus from killing mankind? Killing their power source would force the Chaos Gods, maybe except Khorne, to try to stop Horus. The Cabal were unable to foresee that the Alpha Legion wouldn't join Chaos, so their predictions are not 100%. Yeah, that's true. The Cabal probably was banking on the fact that chaos is chaos. Mm-hmm. So you would think that they wouldn't want to, or you would think that they wouldn't be organized, or they would be organized to stop Horus from killing mankind and killing their power source. But at the same time, like you said, Khorne wants more blood, Slaanesh wants more schemes,
and Tzeentch.
Tzeentch, and then Nurgle wants more plagues. So at the end of the day, I think they would be drunk off their chaos, and they would.
Right. Morbid Mike asks, what is the story or lore about the Mantis Warriors? So the Mantis Warriors are a...
Space Marine chapter?
Yeah, Space Marine chapter. They're not one of the 12 original ones. I don't remember who's a successor chapter from.
A lot of people have been requesting the Mantis chapter, and they're going to get covered this week or next week. Early next week, late this week. Along with the Raptors. Yeah.
Aren't they from like the Badab Wars? Or no?
The Raptors? No. I think the Raptors are... Is it the 13th founding? I can't remember. Next question.
Go ahead.
Salamander chapter. Is that it? No, you read that already, right?
I did.
Aiden Dowie. Do you flip people off in the Imperium? Do you flick people off? Is it flip or flick? I thought it was flick people off.
Yeah, I thought it was flip because you flip the bird, right?
I've been saying it wrong this entire time. My entire life I've been saying flick.
They're like, what is this guy doing?
Retard. No, I don't, because I am not in the Imperium.
If I could, I'd probably die, since probably everybody's got like their own pistols and swords and all that. So it's not a good idea to pick a fight.
Yeah, but basically the derogatory terms you could use in the Imperium are a variety. The Ratlings have a lot of derogatory words sent to them. The Ogrins do too. Check out our 40 facts on them and you can see all of those. I just can't remember what they are right now. Next question.
Jimatuo Kerrigans. Where can I read the lore in that Robuk Gilliman is alive again? It's not actually out yet. Well, by the time you're seeing this, it's out. It came out on March. What's today?
5th.
Today's the 5th, so it come out the 9th, I believe. No, that doesn't make sense.
It's gonna come out this week.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th. It's the Saturday. It's the previous Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, and it's in the Fall of Cadia Part 3, The Return of the Primarch is what it's called.
Orokin Prime 601. Does autism still exist in the Imperium? If so, what do they do to them? No. The reason behind that is that the Imperium is a totalitarian regime, kind of like the Nazis, kind of like Stalin, Soviet Union, Mussolini, all them, whatever. But whenever those types of governments rose up or gained power, the first people that they went for is Jews. The second people that they went for was disabled people.
Yeah.
So most of the time, if you're disabled, you're seen as genetically weak, and you would be killed.
Euthanized.
So you can't reproduce. But that's not to say that autism does not exist anymore, because you would think, oh, then that means that they weed out all the autistic people. But no, because you got to remember, places like Krieg, it's an area that was bombarded with radiation. So there's mutations happening all the time, so people are born sick. But instead of raising those people, they right off the bat get killed. Kind of like Sparta, and how Spartans would be inspected as babies, and if they weren't adequate enough, they weren't heavy enough, they'd be thrown down a mountain. Same thing in Warhammer 40k. Sad but true.
That's right. This one's by Efruit Ozona. Now he has a big spoiler alert, so I'm gonna just go to his question. Who would win in the fight between the Nightbringer or Ennead? Ennead. So the cool thing about this is that they are both essentially representations of death. The Nightbringer is essentially the Necron god of death, while Ennead is the Eldar god of death. So it'll be a pretty cool fight. I know I'd give it up to the Eldar since they do focus more on warp and that kind of stuff, and the C'tans are actually weak against the warp. So for that reason alone, Ennead.
Yep. DH. Do orcs still have their reality-changing ability? Couldn't read anything about it in the last codex. Yeah. Because again, if an orc believes that the gun works, the gun's gonna work. All that good stuff. Next question.
Carter Howlett. Why do the Raven Guard and the White Scars have a rivalry against each other?
The who?
The White Scars and the Raven Guard.
That's a good question.
I know they do, because in one of the stories I did, it said that they've had a long rivalry, but I'm not entirely sure. I want to say maybe because they both do like hit and run tactics. They both got like bikes and stuff like that.
I'm not 100% on this, but I think there was a story of the Great Crusade where the White Scars wanted to show up all of the other chapters by being the first ones to battle. That they actually went to a certain planet or went into a certain battle, killed or made, or made the planet fall into compliance, and by the time the Raven Guard got there, they found the White Scars already done with all the work. So it's kind of like, you guys made us come all the way out here and you took all the glory, you assholes. I think that's what it is, but I can't remember.
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah. I have a question from Michael Howell. Do you guys ever get laid on the regular? Day.
I'm getting laid right now.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's only...
It's only from here down.
Good question. Next question comes from Fizzy Game. Where do you think humanity, realistically, would be 40,000 years from now?
Ooh. Do you think we'll survive 40,000 years from now? With global warming, pollution, and all that shit?
Overpopulation, lizard men, what else? Nazis living in North Pole underneath the mountain, or some shit like that.
Aliens, you never know when they can strike.
Yep. Ancient aliens coming back. The Anuragi? I don't know. 40,000 years from now, hopefully, we will be colonizing, for sure, Mars, right?
Hopefully by then.
And we will discover the Void Dragon. And with that, we would...
He would ascend.
It would spark our dark age of technology. No, 40,000 years from now, we are pretty advanced.
Yeah, we should be.
If we don't die.
We're all gonna die.
One more question, and this one comes from Calls King 555. Are psychers affected by the autism spectrum disorder? What is the autism spectrum disorder? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what the spectrum or autism spectrum disorder is.
Like, does that mean like you include like Asperger's and other diseases into that whole spectrum?
If that's the case, I would think so. I would think that because there has to be psychers that are unable to control their powers, and that's why psychers have a bad rep. Aside from the fact that they can melt your mind by just staring at you, but yeah, there has to be some psychers who have the psycher ability, who themselves are not mentally
capable, I guess,
or to the standards of a normal human person.
Normal.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the questions. Thank you for sending them our way. Comment down below. Give us more questions to answer for next week. And of course, guys, thank you for liking, comment, and subscribing.
That is all the time we have for you guys. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. Tons more epicness over there. And as always, thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I am the Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
The Window, the Gellerfield down there, and we are out of here.